The future is so promising right now. We are now able to generate using either ComfyUI or Automatic 1111 images in as little as milliseconds. So instead of 30, 40 seconds, maybe 50 on my MacBook, which is super slow and terrible for doing this type of thing, now I'm able to generate images in maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and that's amazing. It's not perfect yet, but images are looking really good, and there's always room for improvement. This is only the beginning. So we're going to install this node, which was made by Floaty1 and 0x bitches. So to install it, we're going to copy this URL from here, and we're going to open our ComfyUI folder using something like VS Code or any code editor that you have on hand. On VS Code, we can go to terminal and open a new terminal. It's going to automatically open on the folder, on the current folder, in this case on the ComfyUI folder. And it's also important that you check that you are using your current virtual environment of Python if you are using that type of thing, and I recommend it because that type of environment is going to allow you to have all your plugins, extensions, or maybe all the dependencies that Python uses inside of ComfyUI, that ComfyUI uses for running in a single folder and everything contained, so it doesn't contaminate anything outside on your computer. So we're going to change directory to this folder called custom nodes. So we do a cd on the terminal and we type custom. We can use tab if you have this extension for the terminal, and it's going to autocomplete. Otherwise you write the whole word. So we are now on custom nodes folder, and we are going to do this command with this git clone, and then we paste the URL. This is going to copy this project, all the folders, inside a folder within custom nodes. So you have to have installed git clone already. We now can see that inside custom nodes we have this ComfyUI floaty LCM folder. The next step is to create a file. This is currently because it's not automatically downloading the model to the proper folder. I'm not sure. It's probably something wrong with this, with the code of this fork that we just downloaded. So we have to create a new file with this content. These commands are the only thing that these commands doing is to download the proper model for this to work. So currently these latent consistency models have only one model that we can use, that because they have to train it. Maybe I'm not sure how that works, but I'm sure that it's a new type of thing that they have to train. So for every model that already exists, for example in CBDI, maybe people have to retrain those into this new kind of technology. So for now we have this model called LCM Dream Shaper, which I'm sure it's based on Dream Shaper, the model that we've seen on CBDI. So we have to run these commands, but before that, I forgot, we need to install, in case you don't have, diffusers, this Python extension. So we do pip diffusers, and then, we have to do pip install diffusers. That way you will have this diffusers thing, which it's going to allow you to download the model. I have already installed, so that those messages mean that. These commands we're going to save on a file in this folder called, let's call it, where am I? Okay, so I am going to save it here, over here on ComfyUI, and I'm going to call it download model.py. We save there, and we have it on the root of the folder. It doesn't really matter where you where you have it, because the only thing that is going to do, it's to download this model into a specific folder, depending if you are on Windows or on Mac OS. In the case of Macintosh, of Mac, it's going to download it on the user folder, on user folder /.cache.hugging face, I believe. So let's run this. We can either click on this play button, or in case you don't have that button, because I haven't seen it sometimes, we are going to run Python and then the name of the file, download model.py. We have an error. Oh, so what's happening is that I'm currently on the custom nodes folder still, so I am inside of here. But what I have to do is to do cd and 2 dots, so I can go back to the main folder, and now I am on ComfyUI folder, which is the proper one. So I rerun this command. In case you don't know, you can tap on the how do you say it? Arrow on the upper arrow, so you can see your previous commands. There I am running the proper command, and we are downloading the model to its proper location, so we can run it from ComfyUI. Meanwhile, we could open ComfyUI by creating a new terminal. So we go here and do new terminal, and we are going to do Python main.py. I forgot what was the command. We're running on Mac. Oh, it's this one, force fp16. So we force that floating point thing and enter. So we already have ComfyUI running, and we are going to open on our browser by going to that link. So I already have the nodes that we require here, but I am going to start fresh. Let's clear it so I can show you how you can do it. So I double click on this screen so I can pop up this search box, and then I am going to write LCM. There is LCM sampler. This is a sampler that's going to use these models and this technology that we're talking about for generating images very, very fast. Now we double click again an empty part of the node view, and we write save image. So we can get this save image node. We connect these two, and we are going to try and generate an image. It's probably I am not going to be able, because it's not going to be able to find the models yet, because they are still downloading. But this is all you have to do. For now, we are very limited in the settings that we can introduce on our workflow, because this is very, very new. So probably in the future we might be able to introduce LoRa's and maybe control net and all this type of things. But for now, we can play with this thing and be amazed at the results of generating images so fast. Some people have started discussing about the possibility of generating images constantly, all the time. So you can, especially on these graphics cards that are very powerful, you can maybe watch in real time every setting that you are changing. Imagine in case of, or maybe on automatic 1111, you are changing the CVG scale or the denoisers of anything, and you are watching it real time generating the images. That would be super awesome, because we can have that type of instant feedback that's very powerful, so you can create and be guided by the exact process that you are doing. You can watch in real time how you are affecting these images. That's very powerful. Let's check the folder. So it says prompt executed. Oh no, I am on the other terminal. So we already have the models downloaded, and we're going to do here on the instance of the terminal that's running ComfyUI, we're going to do Control C so we can stop it, and we can tap on our upper arrow, up arrow, and run again ComfyUI. So let's see if this time it works. Let's reload the page and click on Q prompt. This time is working, and you're going to be amazed. At least I was really amazed. The first time it takes a little bit of time, maybe it's something like 10 seconds. I believe it's loading the model, and we can see here on the RAM that Python is already using 7.7 gigabytes, but it's probably because I have some things, the computer is not like restarted, and maybe some things are still open there on RAM, but you can see that it's been faster, at least on my computer, that the current time, which was about 40-50 seconds with this Apple Sillicon, which is actually the M1 Pro. So this is the time that it takes once the model is and everything is already set up. You can click it, maybe it takes 2-3 seconds, and there's an image. Let's click it again. It's generating, and there's an image. So if you are on a 4090 or Nvidia 3090, what kind of results would you get? Maybe even milliseconds for generating this kind of images. Oh, by the way, sorry, we've been generating images without a prompt, so it's kind of like generating anything. Let's generate a beautiful portrait of a woman, and that's simple. Let's use that simple prompt for now, and we're going to be able to see a more consistent image. This type of model, as I was saying, use less steps, or seems to need less steps to generate images that are looking good. But I'm not sure why, if I go over 4 steps on this computer, I get this error. But I can go to 3 steps. Oh, let's stop it from randomizing image. Let's use this set. Okay, so I'm going to try and go from 1 step and see the changes. Let's do 1 step. So the image is very blurry, and you can like see the shape of the portrait. Let's do 2 steps. So we're going to be able to watch more details now. That's actually very good. It's amazing for 2 steps. If you do like 2 steps on the current Stable Diffusion, you're going to be disappointed, probably. Let's do 3 steps. We have more detail. Let's do 4. And a little bit more of detail. I'm sure if this gets fixed, I am going to be able to go over 4, but for now it's awesome to be able to glimpse this technology, how it's going to be in a year from now. I remember a year ago, just to generate like a dog could take like 40-50 seconds, and it would have resulted in a like not a pretty image, especially using the original models and not doing proper prompts. But nowadays, these new models that are popping out, you can generate beautiful images, and just with very simple prompts and using things like ControlNet, it's amazing. I'm speechless about what's coming on the future, and how maybe we can even run this type of thing on cell phones. It's gonna be amazing. So I hope that you have been able to install it, and if you have any kind of issue or problem or trouble with making this run, please write on the comments. I'd be super happy to help you. That's it for now, and see you in the next video.